Hi folks, thought I'd give you an update on what's happening with the Jeep project. I've been steadily taking stuff apart and stripping it. I have the tub pretty much as stripped down as it's going to get here. So this is about the end of the dismantling process, as far as stuff that's bolted on anyways. I think the next step as far as the tub goes is to start working on a little bit of rot there in the bottom of the floor. So fixing the floor. I'm going to see if I can maybe take some of the swales out of the back there. See if I can smooth that out a little bit. The windshield frame is in reasonably good condition. I've just got it here quickly attached to the Jeep, to the tub here a little bit. Got it more or less stripped down. Now, one of the things I noticed was in this corner here, it looks like someone has brazed a patch or something on there. That might be making it a little interesting when it comes time to actually patch it, but we'll see. But the frame itself is in good shape. It's a little dusty, of course, but it's all there. I don't know, maybe there's some Jeep experts out there that can tell me if that was the way they did it at the factory, or if that's just somebody's repair job. I'm guessing it's a repair job, which means I'll probably have to find a way to get rid of that brass, which could be troublesome. One of the other nice things about this particular tub is all the brackets are here for this tilting windshield, so they can turn the air conditioning on. That's the Jeep air conditioning. This part of the cowling was stoved in quite well when I picked it up. It was punched in, so popped some holes in it. Use a slide hammer and pop the worst of it out. And yeah, a little bit of massaging, and we can get that tuned back up. There are a few dents in the body that we're going to need some work. This corner has got a puncture hole here, and this corner is dinged up pretty good, so that's going to require a fair bit of work. This corner over here where the spare tire carrier goes had a little bit of corrosion in behind there. It's just about probably the worst other than the floor, and a couple little dings that we're going to have to take care of in there. What else was there for bodywork to do? Someone has added this piece of angle iron to the corners, and they've done a really bang-up job welding that, so that's going to get addressed. We're going to make that look quite a bit nicer, and we will be making probably be knocking a hole out in here to put the second tail light in. I know the Jeep people are going to be outraged because it's only supposed to have one, and that's the way it was born, and theoretically it should be legal to drive it with one tail light. However, for the side of safety and ease of getting a safety certificate signature, I'm going to put both on there, just for our own peace of mind. And the other part of it is too, because people are not familiar with these older vehicles, and I don't want to get rear-ended by someone if I'm making a right turn and nobody sees a signal light. The tailgate's actually in pretty good shape. I mean, it's got its typical dings and so on there, but it's all pretty much complete and fairly salvageable. So that's where we're at with the Jeep project. I've been slowly plugging away. I've been cleaning up the odd parts here and there. I have as I'm working on different things, I'm also sandblasting and cleaning parts up. Here we have, fresh out of the paint, is the intake manifold. So that's been all, that's been sandblasted and cleaned up, and that's got the fresh paint on it. Some other parts have been painted. I think that's the air filter bracket there. So that goes on the firewall. That bit's been painted. And there's some other parts that have been painted. There's the gas pedal, dipstick cover, dipstick tube, some other components. Some of the air cleaner parts have all been cleaned up and refurbished, ready to go. But so it's rebuild one of these Jeeps. It's a little like eating an elephant. You just do it one bite at a time and see how it goes.
seems to be something very satisfying about taking a sandblaster to a rusty old part and returning it back to like new condition. Many of the parts for the Jeep have found their way through my sandblasting cabinet. This here is the oil pan, and when it's all done, it's just like new.
Most of my time and effort has been working on getting the engine ready to go to the machine shop. So the engine has been stripped down, crankshaft has been removed. I had a little bit of drama with the crankshaft pulley right here. It's keyed onto the end of the crankshaft with the keyway there, and then there's a nut that holds it in place. However, for whatever reason, whether the threads were a little bit screwy or the guy lost the nut or who knows, right? So it's been literally decades since anyone's actually looked at this Jeep. The crankshaft was welded to the end of the the pulley was welded to the end of the crankshaft, which meant I had to get the die grinder out and carefully remove that as much as I could without damaging the crankshaft. So that was the bad news. The good news is the crankshaft has been taken to the machine shop, so that'll probably be ready in the next day or two. And once that's ready, the engine will be making the big trip. Let me just go out here and I'll show you the state of the engine right now. So the cylinder head has been removed. The engine is completely disassembled. And there it is, ready to go. The cylinder head is up in there as well. So that's all ready to go to the machine shop. The cylinder head and the block itself all to Winnipeg, to Wesley Machine, where they have told me that they are going to have a look at it, measure it up, and do what we need to do to turn it back into a usable engine. And we may or may not have to bore out the cylinders. So there was a fair bit of rust in the cylinders. When I pulled the cylinder head off, there was a fair bit of water inside the engine itself. So once they get the block all cleaned up, they will have a look at it, and then we can decide where we're going to go from there. If we're going to go oversize, I believe the tag on the engine tells me that the cylinders are already 20 thou over, so we still have a little bit of room to go. We can oversize, or if it's I'm not sure how big we can go oversize with pistons, but if it gets to the point where we need to sleeve it, that's an option too, so we can sleeve it as well. The spare Jeep has donated some parts to it. So there's the spare engine, transmission, and transfer case. At some point, some time ago, the top of this transmission had been removed, so it's been exposed to the elements, which means, well, it means a lot of bad things have probably gone into that transmission and may or may not be salvageable. I mean, the case, obviously, the case will be salvageable. As far as the internals go, I'm not sure what kind of shape they are. The transfer case, however, is still sealed.
So let's get the Project Jeep transmission and transfer case up here on the bench, and we'll get ready to start taking it apart.
I guess one of the next big things to rebuild, other than the axles and the engine itself, is this little guy. So there is a T90 transmission, top loader, with the transfer case. So I think the first step I need to do with this particular unit is give it a little bit of a bath. It's kind of grubby. So we'll get see if we can get some of this crap cleaned off of it, and then we'll start taking stuff apart. Okay, we're going to start with pulling this PTO drive cover off. So let's see how things look once we take this off and have a peek. And inside we find rusty, crappy shit. Yeah, that's not encouraging. Not encouraging. Does look a little rusty in there, but down inside there. It looks like we've had some moisture in there. Looks like it's been pretty wet, so that's not good. So that's the progress on the Jeep. That's where we're at with Ernie. I should probably tell you folks it has been named. The new Jeep. His name's Ernie, and don't ask me where it came from. It just struck me one day that this thing kind of looks like an Ernie. So this is Ernie the Jeep.
So stay tuned to the channel while we go from decrepit old Jeep that we found in the bush to hopefully something that's a little more drivable. Thanks for watching.